Hi, welcome back to the Rope of Hope podcast. I am Kimberly, your host. The second episode, we are doing a marathon of episodes today. And now I have Anne with me. Thank you so much for joining me, Anne. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome on this fantastic Sunday, and thank you for having me.
Of course. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I am a spiritual luminary, and I have come to this place in my life through a series of major wake-up calls. And I've come to realize that that's the only way we really learn and grow into the best version of me. I'm saying that with quotation marks. So I like to share my story of how I got there, because I really know, it's like a knowing, an internal knowing, that each one of us is born with a certain message and a purpose, and we were meant to have a great and fulfilling life. We just have forgotten what the spiritual universal truths are. So I'm just here to remind us of those. And I am from Florida. I am a mom of two amazing boys, divorced and remarried now for 20 years. Could you believe it? I'm at the stage of my life now where I've been married more than I've been single, which is pretty scary. So
that's pretty awesome. I mean, 20 years is a nice chunk of time.
The first marriage was 13 years.
Oh, wow. I'm 4 years in.
Yeah.
Third marriage, but I'm 4 years in as of Friday, actually.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So why don't you share with everybody how you got to this place? What got you here?
Yeah, like I was saying before, there were quite a few wake-up calls along the way, and I really hope everybody gets this point. It's like something I'm so passionate about is really no pain, no gain. If people say they want to grow, they want to live their life's purpose, but they're not willing to back that with going through the pain to get through to the other side, it's not going to happen. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm like here to like a hot knife going through butter. This is how you get there. And the first step was a series of wake-up calls that literally rocked my world. There's no other way to describe it. And the first one, unfortunately, was my dad at the age of 52 was starting over, had failed in business, and was coming to Florida to start over. And my mom was finishing off her master's degree, and she was going to join us when she was done in April. And within a week of coming to me, I found him dead and blue. One morning, I didn't hear him around moving, and I knocked on his door and he didn't answer. And I opened up the door, and there he was on the floor. And I was like, I can't even put into words the wake-up call. But looking back, there's also a measure of such gratitude for his loss, because that started me on an internal quest of like, what the heck am I doing with my life? I'm in a marriage I don't like. I was working with my ex-husband, so I was not even professionally doing something I liked. And by the time I was 33, I had my first child. He was 3 years old. And I'll never forget, we were going to look at a lot that we had just purchased. And my ex-husband turned to me and said to me, "Now it's time to have the second baby." All the bells and whistles went off. You ever have those moments? Like when like I felt like a hit to my solar plexus. And I said, this marriage is over. It's time to act. It's time to act. Like the thought of raising a baby and waiting, I couldn't do it. I said, and the gift, the legacy, and notice the word I use, legacy, because the legacy my father left me was that my father always wanted to be a vet. And things conspired, the world, the timing. he was told basically you have a choice. You can get married and come into the family business so you can support your family, or you can go to vet school, but you can't have both. He chose my mom, thank God. But he always had this calling to be a healer. And no matter what he did, he was always pulled back to that space. And I'm sure a lot of your viewers understand that no matter what they do, what they distract with, whatever path they go down with, whatever the fad of the moment is, or whatever the desire of the moment, they just go down that path, but it's completely contrary to what their calling is.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that happening with my dad over and over again. It started when we were young. I remember he bought his first horse and boarded it outside the city where we grew up. Then a year later, when I was 3, he bought his second horse. By the time I was 8 years old, he said, we're moving to a farm. So he always was being pulled back to that calling. And when business failed, he bought a pet store. Being called back again to the animals, everything to do with the animals. And I remember when I turned 16 and my mom said, it's time for us to move back to the city because your daughter has to go to college and I don't want to put her in dorms, and you had your experiment and now it's time to get back to real life. He was so unhappy. He was so unhappy. And I saw how being so unhappy impacted his life choices and his decisions. And so I learned from him is that you can't run away from your calling. And it was happening in my own life. I was not happy. My marriage wasn't. And look, I don't want to advocate divorce. Listen, please, Kimberly, I'm not sitting here and saying, if you're not happy, just get up and leave your marriage. I mean,
no.
I tried for 13 years. Everything. But when the values and the morals and the ethics and the desire and the commitment to being a certain way is so opposingly different to your mate, which was in my case, and he always put me down. Nothing I did was good enough for him. Everything I did, he had to approve of it. I said, you know what, really? I am going to branch out on my own and I'm going to start my life. And I left with a 3-year-old with no money, with no income, because he had the business. We had in the custody agreement, it was I took the kid, he took the business. I said, fine, you take the business, I'll keep the kid. I don't care.
I think you probably got the better end of that deal.
Totally. But I had to start over at 33 years old in my life.
And how scary was that?
Scariest thing I ever did. Scariest thing I ever did. I am so grateful for the coaches in my life, for my mom, and just went through the process, went through the pain step by step. And this is what I started with. If we don't feel the wake-up calls, if we don't work with them, if we try to run away and distract and do all that, then we're not going to benefit. We're not going to grow to the next best level that is meant to be ours if we're not going to allow the process to work, if we're not going to allow ourselves to feel the pain. But my experience has shown me over the years is that no one likes to look inside at their dirty bits, you know?
Oh, no.
Do you like to look inside? Do you like to do self-analysis and you know, no one does.
I think it's human nature to run away from that, honestly. You know, I think it's just an intrinsic thing that, you know, if it's scary, you run away. So, I saw your bravery in that.
If it's painful, you run away, right?
Yeah.
We either run, as human beings, we either run away from pain or towards pleasure. That's how we're wired, to run away from pain and towards pleasure. The problem is that the pleasure is the high. You get a real high, right? Ooh, this feels good. The brand new pair of shoes, the brand new bag. Ooh, I'm rocking it, right? An hour later, you're like, what did I just do? What did I just do? I still feel empty inside. This was just a temporary fix.
And then you're constantly chasing that high of that pleasure.
And it's a vicious cycle, Kimberly. Ugh, it's vicious. And then you look at your credit card statements at the end of the month and you go, what did I do? And then you look at the extra 10 pounds and you go, what did I do? And then it's just, and you look at the guy that you're waking up in the morning in the bed with and you go, who the hell are you? Like, you know, sometimes I'm amazed, you know, when I work with people and I'm like, okay, we got to go back to basics, right? We got to go back to the beginning. What got you here? Because you have to, first step is to become really, really being very adept at monitoring your internal dialogue, your internal feelings. You must check in with yourself on a regular basis.
Now, you actually have a book about this, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's called You Aren't Here to Be Good, How to Be Better. You aren't here to be good. You are here to be better. How to reclaim hope, purpose, and fulfillment in a world gone crazy. So, yeah, the world is crazy, even more so over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole book, the whole reason I wrote it is that my clients were asking me that I need a workbook. I need a guidebook. I need to know the rules of the universe, how to maneuver through the not so good and the good, how to stay on the side of the good, how to stay in the fulfillment road, in the happy, joyful, abundant family, business, whatever movie you want to be in, how to be in that lane. And there are universal truths. And that's one of the things I realized is that most people don't know them. And that's why they're bumbling in the dark and there's so much chaos. So here's the rule of thumb I use is if you've got chaos in your life and things aren't working, is because you're not playing by the rules. You don't know them. Because the premise is divine intelligence shares, which I love, is that we are here to live a life of joy and fulfillment and abundance and purpose and meaning and contribution. And even more so, it is our birthright and destiny.
Well, I would love if you would make a post on the Rope of Hope page, letting the followers know where they can find that book, you know, so that you can, you know, get it out there and hopefully, you know, people will really glom onto it and, you know, it'll impact some of my followers. So definitely please post that to the page.
I will.
So that you can do that. Of course. And I know that you do have another commitment, but I have one final question for you that I want to ask.
Is our time, are we already, oh my gosh.
Yep, it goes fast. It goes very fast. What is the most inspiring thing that somebody has ever said to you?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so let me think. There's so many of them. I'm like going through the files. Okay, so this is really inspiring to me. Someone once told me that the greatest gift you can give another human being is to be able to communicate in a way that they get you.
Oh, I love that. With your permission, I would like to make a slide of that and post that on the page as well.
I was blown.
Yeah. Well, Anne, thank you so much for taking time to come and speak with me, for sharing your story. It definitely touched my heart, and I know it's going to touch other people. I so appreciate you being here with me today.
You're very welcome. And I just want to encourage elder listeners and everyone out there to know that it is your birthright and destiny to have a life of joy and fulfillment. Yes, chaos exists. Yes, pain and suffering exists, but there is a system for getting out of the pain lane and going into the joy lane. We just don't know what it is. And once we know, we're empowered. We live our life in a very joyful and fulfilled way, and we feel good, but more importantly, we get to impact others in a way where they feel good too. So that's a win-win. That's the ultimate win-win.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this second episode of The Rope of Hope. I will be back here in about an hour with our third episode. But if you are enjoying this, if it's touching your soul, please support what I'm doing. Keep me caffeinated. Buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thisfatgirllife. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you here soon.